Happy Halloween. It's that spooktacular time of year again. Spooktacular. Spooktacular. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Tyler. Welcome back to Scorpio Oxman channel. And how appropriate of doing a spooky, spooktacular video today on this day, October 31st. It's that all too scariest day of the year, as we know. So, yeah, the Halloween season is definitely a lot of fun, as we know, and it doesn't never gets old for me, that's for sure, and for a lot of us. So, this year marked the 40th year anniversary, 40 years of A Nightmare on Elm Street. And 40 years. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And as of it was released, so A Nightmare on Elm Street, directed by Wes Craven, starring Robert Englund. Englund is the actor who plays Freddy Krueger. Or actually, you know what? I think I'm mistaken on that. I think Freddy Krueger plays Freddy Krueger. Yeah, I think that's how it really was and really is. Wink, wink. But directed by Wes Craven and starring Robert Englund, who plays Freddy Krueger. And yeah, one of the all-time horror classics, horror trilogies. Now, Wes Craven also did the Scream series in the 90s, from the 90s and into the 2000s. I think he directed all four, the first four, if I'm not mistaken, or all four. Yeah, pretty well. And then I don't know how many of those he directed, but yeah, the A Nightmare on Elm Street, one of the all-time classics. And Johnny Depp, one of Johnny Depp's very first movies that he starred in was this horror classic from 1984. So, in honor of the 40-year anniversary, I'm going to look at the Primal Astrology of Wes Craven. Yeah, so of course Wes Craven, he's the biggest star. Well, I mean, aside from the stars in the film, he's Wes Craven is definitely the biggest name that stands out really. But of course, there's the Heather Langenkamp, Langenkamp, I believe, who starred along with Johnny Depp in the movie. Uh, yeah, and you'll find this hard to believe. I'm yet to see this movie from beginning to end. I've only seen bits and pieces. Well, so far I've only seen bits and pieces, and only just recently. Like a lot of the other horror films I've seen, like Hellraiser, you know, uh, The Exorcist, and quite a few, the Jeepers Creepers, some of the Jeepers Creepers, and of course Scream and that. And yeah, but this one, oh, and Friday the 13th as well. I've seen the original Friday the 13th, 1980 with Jason, and Halloween as well with Jamie Lee Curtis, 1978. Yeah, but this one, I still haven't, from beginning to end, I'm still yet to see. So that's something I'm working on, of course, right now. So definitely before this season is up, I gotta, that's definitely the bucket list. So, but yeah, it is one of the all-time classics, of course, and really probably what really got Wes Craven on the map as well in all the horror trilogies and franchises and in Hollywood history. So for sure. So we're gonna get right into it. And yeah, we'll see. So November the 9th, 1984 is when the movie came out, A Nightmare on Elm Street. And I think it definitely changed the way horror movies were looked at. It was definitely, along with Friday the 13th with Jason in 19, which was 1980. But this definitely changed the way movies went, the horror movies went for sure when it came out. So okay, so we're gonna look at Wes Craven's Primal Astrology first, and then we're gonna look at Robert Englund. I think we'll do that. Yepper. Okay, so let's directed by Wes Craven. There he is right there, Wes Craven. So Wesley Earl Craven, August the 2nd, 1939, Cleveland, Ohio, is his date of birth. Okay, so we'll get right into it. August 2nd, 39, Cleveland, Ohio. And he's sadly not with us anymore. God rest his soul. And yeah, and he was a big time movie director in Hollywood. Just gonna put down Wes Craven. Okay, rising sign, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, as here we go. Astro charts is the one of my favorites to look at. So here he is. Birth time accuracy, excellent, great. Cleveland, Ohio. So he's Ohio native, August 2nd, 39. And there we have it. Okay. So let's find out his moon first. So, okay, let me just get that in. August 2nd, 39, 4:54 p.m. That's 4:54 p.m. Mastering the Zodiac, the true sidereal zodiac that shows the real natural sky as it really is in the sky, as it were if we were to see it with our own eyes. Okay, so 1939, August 2nd, 4:54 p.m. that was. Okay, we'll get his moon sign first, and then so he's an Aquarius moon. There it is. So Wes Craven. So as you can see, Wes Craven, August 2nd, 1939, 4:54 p.m. So as you can see, his moon is in Aquarius. So he's basically born day of Aquarius, quote unquote. So that's a day of Aquarius. Okay. Craven. Just gonna uh okay. And all right, so on the now we're going to look at to see his Chinese astrology sign. Uh, his day sign in Chinese astrology or Vietnamese astrology as it's called. Okay. Yeah, you guys know the usual of how we find out the day sign of someone's primal astrology spirit animal, which is exactly what we're looking for. Yeah, I don't see it right here. The calculator. Looking for the calculator. And here it is here. This is good enough. We'll go with this. Say 1939. August 2nd. Male. Oh yeah, yeah, I could put it punch in the time of day. Okay, that's good enough. Okie dokie. I punched it in. So Wes Craven's day sign, here it is. So his day sign in Chinese astrology is day of the sheep or the goat in as it's called in the Vietnamese. The metal goat or the metal sheep right here. So as you can see right here, so he's year of rabbit, month of goat, month of sheep, day of sheep, or month of goat, day of goat. So there you go. So the Aquarius, so the combination of Aquarius and the goat, or Aquarius and the sheep, we're going to find out what spirit animal that is. So let's go to primalastrology.com. Okay. Primal astrology signs by combination. So here's primalastrology.com. So we see that Wes Craven, his moon is Aquarius, the dead center of Aquarius. His moon is the very center of Aquarius. So definitely Aquarius moon. And he's day of the sheep or day of the goat in the Chinese astrology or Vietnamese astrology, as it's called. And I don't know why this something bizarre is going on. I think this is taking a while to load. I think this website is taking a while to load a bit. Yeah, it's kind of weird. This happened before. Totem, the animal totem in the Vietnamese astrology, as of on this Halloween day. So it's year of the dragon. We're also day of the dragon. Month of the dragon is April. Month of the dragon is in April. So we don't, it's not a triple dragon day today, but it's a double one. Today is day of the earth dragon. So there's 5 different types of dragons in the Vietnamese astrology. And yeah, the fire dragon, the earth dragon, the metal dragon, water dragon, and wood dragon. That's right. So today's day of the earth dragon. Okay, this now it's showing. Okay. So so the combination of Aquarius and sheep, we're gonna find out. So there it is right there. And so there is 144 different spirit animals in primal astrology. Wes Craven, the classic Hollywood, the legendary Hollywood director, his spirit animal in primal astrology, based on the day that he's born. Wes Craven was born on day of the Handfish in primal astrology. So Wes Craven's spirit animal, he is spirit of the Handfish. And that is because he has an Aquarius moon and he's born day of the sheep or day of the it's called the goat in the Vietnam in the Chinese version it's called the sheep in the Vietnamese version it's called the goat. So but either one. But those are different animals though, a sheep and goat, but still it's still we could just say go by sheep since it says right here. So the Aquarius sheep is spirit of the handfish. So there you have it. So let's read about the spirit of the handfish, who is Wes Craven. And yeah, we'll get right into it. So Wes Craven, so there's the handfish. So spirit of the handfish. So very interesting. And okay, of of all the primal zodiac signs, handfish are most likely to be considered strange. Well, I I would say that Wes Craven is brilliant. I would definitely call him more brilliant than strange for sure. But yeah, he's I'd say brilliant, but as it mentions that they could be a little they could come across as strange to people is what it means, is what that basically implies. Like their animal namesake, members of this sign like to do things their own way. There you go. As a director as well, as a Hollywood movie director as well, which often baffles others. Uh, Members of the sign like to do things their own way, which often baffles others. Any of the primal zodiac signs that fall under the sign of Aquarius are a bit eccentric, but this sign in particular is the least understood, the handfish. This is mostly because handfish are the least likely to explain themselves. There we go. And though they are actually very friendly, so they are very friendly. They tend to be quiet and reserved and feel perfectly comfortable living in their own wild fantasies. Though they seem shy, members of the handfish sign actually prefer being in a group situation. They are simply content to let others have the spotlight while they observe, ready to contribute to the group when asked. So there you go. Not surprisingly, handfish are extremely creative thinkers. Okay, here we go. Here we go with the movie directing right here. Extremely creative thinkers. So that explains a lot with Wes Craven being the spirit of the spirit of the handfish. So that there you go. Extremely creative thinkers. They have enormous imaginations. There you go. Perfect for a movie director. Enormous imaginations and are always coming up with new ideas. So there you have it. You'll often find a handfish starting out the window or off into the distance. In these times, they are lost deep in their own thoughts and often live more of their life in their mind than outside of it. This can be a challenge for them in social career and education environments. They are usually very smart and get through school despite not ever paying attention to their instructor. So that's interesting. That want to do their own thing, of course. And they do best in careers where their minds are challenged and where they can have time to think before they act. That's interesting. While usually quite serene, handfish can be prone to anxiety. When this happens, it tends to spiral their words out of control. Strong anxiety left unchecked can be mentally toxic to a handfish, and thus they should be careful not to lose touch with reality, which they have a natural tendency to do. Now let's look at careers and goals of the handfish. Now, this will be interesting. Let's see if it says anything about movie directing. Wink, wink. So careers are tough for a handfish because employers tend to like employees to do things the way they tell them to. This doesn't really work well for members of the sign who greatly prefer to do things the way they see best. Yeah, usually the handfish is right and their way is better. But exercising this preference doesn't normally go over well with their boss. On top of that, members of the sign are easily bored with routine, stuff like routine. So working in the same place, doing the same thing day after day is rarely ever something a handfish can stand doing for long. So, oh, this makes sense here. Having a natural knack for school. Okay, that could make sense for being a director. Handfish usually thrive in a collegiate environment, which is good for them because a higher education is usually necessary for the kinds of jobs they would be mostly happy in. Oh, look at that. And they love solving complex problems, which makes them great physicists, robotic engineers, psychologists, professors, scientists, and doctors. Yeah, that's very much like Wes Craven. Yeah, that's similar to what he is for sure. So, okay, so more not all handfish are meant for higher education though. These are typically the more artistic oriented of the sign, versus the more scientifically intellectual oriented. Those who have a more artistic bent usually accept having a somewhat boring job that they can do well at with much effort and spend the rest of their time developing new ideas through art. So that says a lot there. Yeah. They are often talented painters, musicians, and writers. So here you go. They are often talented writers, painters, musicians. There you go. Yeah, that's it there. That says right there for movie directing. Handfish love science fiction and fantasy. They love science fiction and fantasy. That's like, in the horror films are very much that. So Handfish love science fiction and fantasy, and their artistic interpretations often use these genres as inspiration. Yeah, that says it right there, folks. Says it right there. Okay, guys. Now I'm gonna quickly let's look at Robert Englund's Primal Astrology day sign, and I'm gonna leave the info for his spirit animal on on for the info below. So let's go to him. So we looked at Wes Craven's Robert rising sign. Okay, so Robert Englund rising sign. Okay. Okay, Robert Englund, born in Glendale, California, United States, June the 6th, 1949. And it says at noon, born at noon. Okay, so Robert Englund, and he is 77 right now, I believe. 75. Yeah, it's 70. Let's just take a peek there. Oh, you know what? Um, it actually says he's from 1947. That's interesting. So the astrochart was mistaken on the year, I believe, because he's from 1947. Let's see here. Yeah, I think he's more legit. So that astrocharts, I think, was mistaken. Let's see what astrotheme says. Should say 1947. We'll try to get the right year here. So astrotheme, yeah, so astrochart said 1949, but no, he's 1947. Okay, so now we know. It says 4:26 a.m. Okay, so we'll pop on the 4:26 a.m. Okay. So okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Glendale, Glendale, California, June 6, 1947. Okay. 4:26 a.m. Okay, perfect. So we'll get his moon. We'll see his moon sign. All right. So that says a lot right there. So his moon is Sagittarius. So Robert Englund, who plays Freddy Krueger. June 6th, 1947, Glendale. Oh, is that Arizona or California? It's supposed to be, uh, hang on. LA, yeah, Glendale, California. So, okay. Glendale, California. Yep. So, so as you can see, his moon is Sagittarius. Okay, as it says. So his Sagittarius moon, and we'll see his day sign in Chinese Vietnamese astrology. Chinese horoscope. Okay, perfect. So 1947, June 6th. Interesting. Okay, so lo and behold, so Robert Englund, he's born day of the dragon. So that this is interesting now. So Robert Englund, June 1942, or 1947, June 1947. 1947. So he's year of the pig, month of the horse, day of the dragon, just like today, day of the dragon. So he's a Sagittarius moon, and his day sign is day of the dragon in the Chinese astrology or Vietnamese astrology. So the Sagittarius dragon, people born on day of Sagittarius dragon, they are spirit of the whale. Now I could tell you now, there's some pretty huge celebrities in Hollywood history and famous history who are spirit of the whale, because it mentions that spirit of the whale is one of the most powerful is one of the most powerful of the signs in the primal astrology, believe it or not. I'm telling you that right now. Uh, so you have Johnny Carson. So Johnny Carson was spirit of the whale, and somebody else who was a huge megastar in Hollywood history, Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas. So Robert Englund, who played Freddy Krueger, he's in the same category as Johnny Carson and Michael Douglas. He is spirit of the whale in primal astrology. Okay, and I'm gonna leave this link below about Spirit of the Whale, who is Robert Englund. And I'm just going to show you what it says right here. So again, those with a Sagittarius moon, born on day of Sagittarius moon and day of the dragon, in a Chinese astrology. So the combination of Sagittarius and dragon is spirit of the whale in primal astrology. Just a reminder. Okay, so Robert Englund is born day of the whale. So he's spirit of the whale. And look what it says: optimistic, adventurous, and proud. It takes an incredible amount of effort to slow the momentum of those born under the sign of the whale. So there you go. That's all you have to know. And free-spirited whale goes where it wants when it wants to. So in other words, there's no stopping them. One of the things that mention here, they are surprisingly quick, powerful, and even loud. The biggest one, natural predators, for no one can face the pure amount of size and force inherent in this sign. So yeah, and it says what a whale wants, a whale gets, because it's a whale. Who's going to stop it? You know the blue whale, the largest creature that ever lived, 110 feet long, and who knows how many tons. I think it's the size of 10 elephants or something like that. Yeah, 10 bull elephants. It's pretty massive. That who's going to stop that? Who's going to stop that animal from going where it wants to go, right? So it's just like in real life, the spirit, the people who are the spirit of the whale. So it's one of the whale, as I mentioned to you, the whale is it's they're one of the most powerful signs of the 144 signs in the Primal Astrology zodiac. So, okay, guys, so I'm going to leave this below. And members of the sign follow their hearts, and they should. They are their own best guide. There you go. They are their own best guide. The whale. Yeah. So that's pretty amazing. Okay, guys, so I'm going to leave this again below for you to read about Spirit of the Whale, who is Robert Englund. And as we know, Wes Craven is the Handfish. So isn't that, oh, by the way, isn't that interesting? So this is something I didn't realize this until now, really. And this is what's interesting about primal astrology. So basically, both Wes Craven and Robert Englund, both of them are sea creatures in the primal astrology. Both of their spirit animals are creatures that live in the sea. So isn't that amazing how they got along, how they would have got along on set of the movie, of the movies and overall, like they were good candidates to work together because they are both ocean creatures that live in salt water. Isn't that something? So I think there's something to that. I think there is something to that. If they're both animals that live in the ocean, they have a lot in common and would get along. So that makes sense. Yeah. So I think there is something to that in regards to primal astrology. So, okay, guys, thanks again for watching today. And again, happy Halloween to you. And again, thanks again for I appreciate all your support, guys, again, and thanks again for everything. And keep sending your questions at me at scorpiooxman@gmail.com. I answer your questions for free. That's scorpiooxman@gmail.com. So until next time, guys. So happy Halloween. All the best. God bless. Take care. Yeah, sending lots of love.